Eleni, you had a fantastic post that might be worth diving into. Your leave it to the pros post.
Yeah, I don't
There
know.
she
It was just an
is.
open-ended question. I wasn't necessarily looking to give any input myself because I feel like I haven't figured that out for me yet. But yeah, just wondering like what artists are doing to monetize themselves, but like not just to make money for the sake of making money, but like to make money from the facet of what we're gifted at. So I loved Annie talking about how she's a photographer. I had no idea, and I went and did some digging through her profile, and I was just like, "Yes, queen, she's so good." Yeah, Joey, you with the guitar,
Didn't know
obviously.
that.
I don't know.
How about this? Can I read your post?
Yeah.
Okay. Here it is. Leave it to the pros. Hey fam. I've been thinking about how many of us have become unexpectedly excellent at one or two specific parts of our artist journey, whether that's release strategy, live stream setups, playlist pitching, sync pitching, production, content hooks, touring, grant writing, etc. Are there any independent artists in here who have really dialed in a particular skill set or knowledge or area that you could potentially monetize or teach? I'd love to open up the conversation around how we might not only diversify income streams as indie artists, but also share more of our hard won knowledge within this community. What's something you've gotten really good at that others might benefit from? So here's the post. We got Joey talking about guitar, Annie talking about her photography. Hopefully Katie jumps on this call. She was talking. She's right here.
Katie's here.
She make it?
Woohoo!
What up? Hey, that's good timing.
How's it
That's
going?
solid.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to your first call.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, you've got a nice setup there. Well, this is perfect timing because we were talking about Eleni's post that you commented on as well. And I think this would be worth diving into, guys. Just talking about this whole concept of what skills have you built along your artist journey that, number one, could be benefiting other people, but also number two, guys, from like a business perspective, from like a funding perspective, is like, are there opportunities for you to be monetizing your skills by offering them to other people, besides just this whole journey of recording music and trying to get streams and tours and booking and all this stuff? Like, besides the music thing, do you have a skills that you could be monetizing to help fund the music career? So I guess we could kind of open this up. We could also talk about your comment there and like what you've done. We can talk about kind of some stuff that I've done, the two of us together that we have done. And we really just want to get your guys' minds and
give you guys some ideas.
Get some ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we were talking when Katie joined in. We were talking about Annie and her photography skill, and that she has quite the catalog of artists that she's worked with. I did not know that either, but that's really cool that she's been able to do that and use her media skill that she probably built by herself for like the artistry. I feel like that's a lot of the things that happen for us. We build these skills because it's like, oh, I need to have better content. I need to have better posts. And then it seems like she's been able to spin that around and make some extra income off of that, which is great. So I think it'd be great to kind of go down the line if anybody has any skills that you've built up that you've been able to monetize, or maybe not have been able to monetize, but you want to flush some ideas out. That's pretty much my bread and butter when it comes to figuring this stuff out. I love just like overall entrepreneurship and small business, even outside of just the music space. So yeah, I'd love to talk more about that.
Yeah. And you don't even guys have to necessarily know what they are. Maybe walk us through everything that you've been doing in your career. What is, like, maybe if someone wants to jump in and share, here's all this stuff that I do for my artist career, because I'm sure there's a lot, because we have a lot that we're doing as well. If someone wants to jump in and is willing to talk about this, like Katie, even with your whole response to that. That was really good. Maybe you could just dive into that a little more and break it down for us, and we can just brainstorm.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I'm a bookkeeper, which is I have two personalities. My day job, which is like super structured and serious, and then I do this. So, but part of something
Cool.
I guess I'm strong at is just like processes and document control and like just the whole like business side of it. And I've just been thrown into that in the last little while. Um, so yeah, I've always been looking for like a checklist of some sort, like like this is how you do X, Y, and Z. And then week 2, this is what you got to do. Like, and that's what I build for some of my clients is like these processes. And so I'm like, I should
Cool.
just build a process as I'm going, make it pretty, fancy it up, and then sell it on Amazon. I don't know. I see people doing that all the time and I've read about it. I'm like, is that actually like something that you
Mhm.
make money off of or add it on my website? I don't know. Like, I haven't really pondered it a whole lot, but I feel like that's a place where I've been trying to find like, yeah, just like a how-to manual for independent artists with no money.
Yeah. Do you have any findings that you would like to add to the list that you have? Do you have a
Uh,
process for yourself as an artist?
I'm learning it. I just put out my album in 2024, so I kinda did like a waterfall release up until then for each of my singles. So I have like a process, I guess, like, updating my banners and updating this and making your premiere lyric video and like just all the like admin schedule things that you kind of forget about till like, oh no, I gotta have this ready. Um like little things like here's some ways to make lyric videos. I remember like having like intense time trying to just search the best way to make a lyric video. um, yeah, what else? Just, like, how to make a banner and with the dimensions, like, how to fit those dimensions onto right?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
Canva versus CapCut and, like, all these different ways to do stuff. So, yeah, I don't know, I just kinda have it in my mind now, I guess, and I should just write it out and just have it. But I'd love to compare it to other people's because I probably didn't launch my stuff to the capacity that it should have been. So, it would be nice to kind of see other people's processes too, right? And fill in the blanks a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. How in depth are we talking? Like, how in depth are you looking for something like that? Like,
I'm a detailed person, so I love it. Like if there's lots of things, it could just be an overview too, right? Or like I even picture like I don't know, different ways to put like I've had intense conversations with other people like how do you do these like captions on your videos or how do you make a reel? Like maybe not a reel, that one's kind of a little bit not so hard. But like in the
mhm,
beginning, I remember people asking that and I never forget actually when I first met Eleni, I was like, "How do you lip sync so good to your songs?" Like, "Oh my," or "How do you sing so well to your songs?" And she was like, "Girl, that's lip syncing." I'm like, "What?" Like, I had no idea, like, just the little processes that people have learned over time, that just, I guess, are little secrets, but I just didn't know, right? So, you just kinda figuring it out, so
mhm.
Yeah. I think she's describing a little bit what
It's the roadmap.
yeah, what our roadmap is. Yeah, our
Yeah.
Oh,
artist roadmap.
maybe.
Have you
Okay.
looked in the school network yet?
I glanced at the roadmap, but then I started, like, getting deep dived into your videos, like, the other stuff, so, yeah,
The ride along videos?
I'm in the middle of the
Yeah.
Logic tutorial at the moment with, trying to figure that out.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
That, to be quite honest, is our whole idea concept for what we're trying to build with the artist roadmap. It's quite literally going to be anything and everything that Joey and I have personally done and experienced with our music career, and our goal is just from A to Z to have everything in there for you guys to go down. Um, so that's good to hear that, like, that's something that you're interested in because we are actively trying to, um, build that and build that out. But again, the whole point here is like, okay, what do you guys know that you could be helping other artists with and perhaps like monetizing and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well,
So,
I just learned something this week actually about YouTube. I didn't realize I qualified to monetize. Someone
hey,
I
There
just
you go.
randomly said, "Hey, one of my songs," like, I don't get a lot on other platforms, but YouTube for whatever reason, and I don't touch it, like, I don't even do anything with it. And then she was like, "Oh my goodness, you should see if you can make the monetization." I'm like, "What's that?" So then I went down this rabbit trail of learning all of those things, and now I'm all set up. I started
Yep.
working on it yesterday, so they approved me,
Yep.
and I'm figuring that out. But yeah, didn't know.
I feel like 90% of this is just setup. Like all the stuff that we're still capturing, setting up our profiles. And we just found out like on Pandora, there's like 20 profiles of like one of
It's a
our
mess.
collectives or like
Yeah.
it's like every
Yeah.
step of the way, there's just another setup process for things. So
Yeah.
Yeah, simple stuff like connecting your topic song to, um, like your
Mhm.
other stuff, like that was also like an intense thing I figured out.
Merging.
I was
Yep.
so happy when I finally got the little arrow, whatever it was, check mark, and it all connected and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, it's easy once you do it, but it's trying to figure it out. And also too, I've found being in Canada versus the States, because I took a music program in the States, but a lot of the stuff I learned was like not quite like the same for Canada. And so there was like a little bit of that, a little bit of a hurdle I had to figure out too. Although I will say your stuff is laid out much better. So I haven't
Oh,
had that
good.
issue.
what would you say the differences are in for Canada versus US speaking? Because we're always trying to learn,
Yeah.
other countries, what's happening. But
I'm not an expert, so, any other Canadians, please chime in, but
There's quite a few here.
there's a few of us. Um,
Yep.
I know for one thing, I got really stuck when I was working with, a publishing company that came part of the program, and they kept asking me to become like, have my name plus a publishing company on top of it, and I don't, unless I'm doing it wrong, I don't think we need to have that in Canada. We can just be ourselves. So like I just put my stuff on there. Like my SoCan is Katie Williams or Kathleen Williams. And then like I just put it in that way. So I don't need a public, and I know I got really stuck on that for the longest time because I'm like, why do I have to like make a new company and all the things? So that's the only
yeah,
thing I
I,
can think of off the top of my head.
I think we were just dealing with that with Eleni, right? With your song, because we're like, oh, because in the States, yeah, you need a publisher name and a songwriter name to collect on both. But was that you,
So
Eleni?
yeah, it's what's kind of complicated about it. If any of the Canadians here are doing work with Americans, even in just like songwriting world with Americans, and the songs are getting cut, it is probably very beneficial for you to create a publishing company with ASCAP or BMI, because in America, sorry, in United States, I should say it that way. It's all good. There's 200% of the song up for grabs versus in Canada, there's only 100% of the song that's available to be
Mm,
split. It's technically the same pieces of the song that are moving in different ways, but for some reason in the States, it's 200% that they divvy up. So having a publishing company makes it so that you collect a percentage on the performance or the mechanical. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but basically, whatever you collect on one end, you also collect on the other. So instead of collecting, 100%, it'll be 50 and 50 to make 100, if that makes sense.
yeah.
So,
Interesting.
Or 100 and 100 to make 200.
right. But if you're like
Yeah.
a writer with, two other people or one other
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say if you can, just go and make yourself a publishing company with ASCAP or BMI. ASCAP, I have like personal experience with. They're super, super easy to work with.
Okay.
You're with ASCAP?
Mhm.
I'm with BMI.
I'm just kidding.
Eleni,
Take it
can I
back.
ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you go, hi, I'm Alicia, by the way. This is my first
Welcome.
time joining this
There you
call.
are.
Is this the first one?
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you. Um,
You're throwing the
question
hearts
about
up.
ASCAP. ASCAP? Ooh, that's fun. Little party things. Sorry, I got distracted. Did you go straight to ASCAP, like on their specific website to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause I'm in the middle of having to do that as well, and I didn't know where to go, so.
Yeah. It's like, I want to say that you just like create, I'm gonna pull it up, but there's a way that you log in as a publishing company and as a writer. Like they're two separate.
Okay.
Let me figure that out. Yeah, so there's music creator login, and then you have to make like a separate username and password for each your publishing company and your like Eleni Maria Young as a writer.
Right. Okay.
It's dumb, but other than that, it is super easy to set up.
Okay. I'll
So
look
how's
into
that
it.
work in SoCan, Eleni? Because on SoCan, when you go in, it gives you the option to select BMI or ASCAP, like when you're doing when you put your song in
So
for.
that's your affiliate.
So what's
So
the difference there?
the
That's where I get.
difference is ASCAP will collect international royalties on your behalf versus being actually registered with ASCAP, if that makes sense. So yeah, ASCAP is like an international entity, like it's global, whereas SOCAN is Canadian.
Yep.
So you need a global affiliate who will basically do your dirty work around the world for you.
Hmm.
Okay, that's my homework this
I-
week then.
I'm not the gospel though. Like this is like just learned experience. So if somebody has more insight, like please chime in. We'll wait.
Yeah, I'm just curious from the Canadian side, Eleni, did you have to, when you created your ASCAP account, did you have to prove something or like connect your SOCAN account, or it just kind of automatically does all of that?
No, you're technically supposed to like denounce your SOCAN membership once you make like the publishing company. So my publishing company is called Philotimo Songs. It's Greek. And then I also made a separate one called Eleni Maria Young.
Okay.
I technically, in making the Eleni Maria Young one, I had to denounce my SOCAN membership as Eleni Maria Young. So I have already a SOCAN one under my full name as a writer, and you can't have two. I could have a publishing company, but in order to make a publishing company, it has to be linked to a name. So does that make
Okay.
sense? Or am I making it way more complicated? Like I wish I had a whiteboard.
Yeah.
No, this definitely needs a whiteboard. But
You could just pretend there's a whiteboard and keep making those sound effects. I think that would be good for the group. Yeah, I think your position is just a little bit trickier with this whole Canadian SOCAN thing. So this is good because again, this is a little out of our zone of experience because obviously we haven't had to set that side of things up.
yeah.
Were there other thoughts on that? I know you guys were going back and forth between the three of you.
My only question was like, did you set it up as like an incorporated company or a sole proprietor, or how do you do that? Like if it's in the States, I don't have any experience.
Yeah, so it's not a like real company as in like a corporation or anything. It's called a publishing company. And again, like you two could probably chime in way more in this, but it's a publishing company that collects the royalties on your behalf. So you have it under a company. That's kind of just what it's called. You can call it really anything else, like a publishing entity, publishing full name.
Okay.
I don't know, call it whatever, but it's not a real company in terms of.
It's not like an LLC or an S corp
Okay.
or anything like that.
Oh, okay. That's what I was confused. I'm like, I do not want to spend money on on all that. Okay, that makes more sense.
Canadians, another thing, like I'm just thinking about this right now. Katie, you know way more about this than I do, but maybe I can start it. But if you haven't already like signed your W8 Bennies, that's what I call them, but W8 Bens, you should get on that because if you are getting any like mechanicals or anything from the States, then they're withholding 30% for taxing. So you have to basically look into pretty much anyone. Like DistroKid has one that you need to fill out, or like it gets missed, is what I'm saying. So just look into everywhere that you're collecting money, and just make sure that you have filled out a W8 Ben so that you can collect 100% of the money and not just 70%.
Yeah, I have that done. DistroKid, the other publishing person that I use for one of my songs, I did it with them. I still haven't received any money from them. That's another story for another day, 3 years later. But But and then the only one I'm struggling with is Sound Exchange. They keep getting me tangled up within, like, there's like an issue. So I've sent it all in, but I can't actually physically get in. And that's another topic. I don't
Interesting.
fully grasp, like, the Sound Exchange and the media base and all the things, right? So
Mm.
Sound Exchange, I'll tell you what, it is a little trippy the way
Yeah.
that they have that set up.
So confusing.
Mhm.
It really is. And do you know what's funny? I just forget about it because it's typically a much lower revenue stream. And yesterday I opened up my Cash App and there's like $68 in it. I'm like, oh, look at that. In a year, I made $70 from Sound Exchange. Hurrah, huzzah. I'm gonna go buy some groceries.
we
Yeah,
wouldn't
we
be able to
actually,
put that up here.
yeah, we actually need to hit them back. I think we haven't heard from them in a couple months. There was something with some setup with one of the collectives or something like that.
It's tricky because with Sound Exchange, there's the master ownership side of things, and then there is the like the performer side of things, and they are very, very, very particular in that they will not let a record label or anybody else claim the performer side of things, the performer revenue streams. They will obviously let, you know, a record label claim on the master side, but that artist like performance side, they're so particular in. And like in our case, it's really interesting because we own collectives and like are technically artists, but we're also record labels, and we're trying to figure out how to jump through hoops right now to claim some of our other royalties that are technically us, but also need particular like letters sent in and approval and all that stuff. It's pretty weird. How would you explain it, Joey? The whole neighboring rights concept.
Oh gosh, you're really putting me on the spot here.
Because you usually had it down better than I did.
Yeah, I don't want to give you guys the wrong information.
Okay.
This
So
is a
that's
test.
one of those things where we're gonna take a deep dive and actually
We'll have to dump and
write
jump
everything
into it.
out and record it well so that we don't steer you guys the wrong way or anybody that comes back and watches this recording.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything that's like way too far out of it to like confuse people.
But essentially, it is another revenue stream that exists.
Yeah, so like we can give you it's neighboring rights. We've got Sound Exchange, Song Trust. These are all different revenue streams that are outside of just mechanical streaming and publishing and songwriting royalties. Some of it has to do with performance, and some of it has to do with what's called non-interactive streaming services, which is like Pandora, and I think Sirius XM is another one. Some of you guys might know what I'm talking about, but claiming those royalties. And from my understanding, it's a lot higher of a royalty payout, especially like Sirius XM versus like a Spotify stream, the
Yeah.
non-stream, non-skippable, I believe, non-interactive streaming platforms.
It might be worth us making a course in the roadmap, just talking about all these different things.
No, it is in our best interest. Yeah, we just haven't gotten to it yet.
We actually do need to get that and put
Yeah.
that in there for you guys.
I think that would be amazing. That would be so cool.
I don't know how we got on that tangent. We were talking right before this about the whole publishing company concept. Is that where we ended before I kind of pulled us in this direction?
Well, we were talking about revenue streams before that, side hustles and things like that.
Yeah.
I want to
Pull it back to that.
Yeah, I want to go back to that and talk about Eleni's post. And I know that kind of with your music, and you were asking about this. Do you have any ideas or skills that you're looking to monetize, or can we help you out in any of those areas and kind of flush some of those things out?
Was this a general question or was this to me?
Well, this is to you because going back to that post that you made in the school group,
Yeah.
asking people about. 'cause
You thought you
it's
could make
definitely-
a post without
it's-
us zooming in on just you.
It's definitely on
Yeah.
your mind. So I'm like,
No,
Yeah.
are you
it's on
think-
my mind because I just like I want to do things, and we've talked about this before. I've mentioned on this call before how I get burnt out really easily like monetizing myself in creative ventures. And so I like kind of stayed away from that. But obviously there's certain things about my current artist journey that I could share with others. And but then I feel like that turns into gatekeeping if I start to monetize it. Like I want to be the type of person that like anyone can just call and be like, "Hey, help me," and then I'm here. Like I don't ever want to be like a consultant. But like that's the only thing that I really bring to the table right now. I'm not like super excellent at any aspect of it. So I was kind of looking for like some inspiration to hear about what other people are really good at that they could bring to the table. I don't know. It was really just a discussion point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a few topics that we can go off of here. So, oh man, couple ideas. I'll tell you from my personal experience some stuff that I have done. Joey, you can talk to kind of some stuff that you have done.
Yeah.
We can talk to some stuff that we've done together. Ever feel like the music industry is a private club and nobody gave you the password? We did too. We started as artists, we got rejected by labels, tours canceled by COVID. We spent years trying to get people to believe in us, and it didn't work. So we learned how to build it ourselves. Now we've generated over 500 million streams on our music. We've helped over 1,000 other artists run marketing campaigns, and we even now own and run our very own record label. So if you're tired of guessing your way through your music career, join the Anthem Network. Get your 7-day free trial by clicking the link in the description below. We'll see you there. And then we can also talk about some ideas that, Eleni, we were talking through with you, even of like this whole concept of a school group of like, oh, how do I take this knowledge and this career and everything that I'm doing and like create value for people and stuff like that. So I know the first thing that I did in my music journey was I'm a piano player. I went all in for years and years and years, getting really good at piano. And back in the day, 5 years ago, when Joey and I were just starting the Anthem Co., and we had just really taken over Mass Anthem, and we didn't have any revenue streams coming through any of that, we were both monetizing our skill set that we learned from school, which is our instruments. So for me, I started to, well, at this period of time, guys, like I'm living with my parents. We co-founded this company from my childhood bedroom. Like talk about humble beginnings. And in that surrounding area, there just weren't very many, if I don't think any at all, male music teachers. There are none. And the music teachers that were out there were just super boring and very, very traditional and just like not fun at all for kids' music. So I had people that started to reach out and ask for music lessons. And pretty soon I just turned it into a business that, you know, on the side of doing the worship coordinating directing position, it ended up being more profitable every month than that thing. Like in half a year, that thing overtook almost double what I was making from the other thing. And I just used that to pour back into the music career. And I'm gonna be honest, I had a little bit of a what's that called when you don't feel quite worthy?
Imposter syndrome.
Oh.
Yeah. I had a little imposter syndrome because I was like, do I really know enough to be teaching this? And like, I don't know. And then you get a 12-year-old or 10-year-old kid that wants to learn from you and they know nothing. You're right. So it's like, okay, no, I can figure this out. And as you go, you just kind of like learn a little bit more. And my prices started lower than what they were, like, for example, like now, because I have a teaching framework that I use now. But in this early stage, I had low prices. I recognized that one of the things that parents wanted was convenience. So I would actually drive to their houses and I would arrange my schedule so that I could hit the houses and show up to their house with the parents there and teach their kids there instead of having them come to me. And it was just like a little bit of a differentiator of like, okay, I can do this. That sets me apart from everybody else. And yeah, a little bit of that imposter syndrome, because then I had kids who were like, well, can I learn guitar? I was like, sure. You know, I do play guitar. Let's figure it out. It's not my main thing. And then, oh, I want to learn drum set. It's like, okay, hey, I want to do vocals. Okay. So I guess the piece of advice that I would pull from this is you guys absolutely as artists have at least like one core thing that you are doing, especially musically. Because Lenny, like I even know you crush on piano. Like that's one of your major gifts. There are opportunities to monetize these things, and it might not necessarily be to other artists. There might be a different type of audience. Like for me, I actually had probably like 12 students that were anywhere from like 7 to 15. And occasionally a few adults that also wanted lessons and everything. But like that was something that I was doing to help fund my music career during that time. I again is teaching music lessons attractive? Is it fun? Is it like the shiny object that you're like, wow, this is what I wanted out of my music career? No, because like when I got into music early on, I detested that everybody was like, so what are you going to do? You going to teach lessons? I was like, no, there's so much more to this besides that. You guys don't get it. But then I realized like, oh, you know what? I actually enjoy this. And as I teach, my craft actually gets better because I have to think through things and learn how to teach it and break it down better. And I'm actually finding I'm getting way better at this piano thing. And like, it ends up making me a better artist and everything. So I guess that's one concept here of, okay, I have a skill set as, you know, for Mass Anthem, I would do a lot of the piano arrangement and stuff like that. But I take that talent, turn it into a side revenue to help fund everything.
Dang, that was point number 1.
I don't know. Are there more points?
Oh, well, you said that was your first point. I got
that's the first example.
Oh, first
that I
example.
have here.
Okay. So for me, how many of you guys have heard of skill stacking? Have you ever heard of that term? Skill stacking?
I have heard that.
It's a little self-explanatory, but basically one skill leads to the next. And when you combine them, when you think about output in terms of money, you can really start to snowball that and get exponential results. So I can take you through as quickly as possible my entire music journey from the beginning and where I am leading up till now. So when I was 4, my mom.
Okay.
No, literally, no, hang on. I got this.
When I was birthed.
It's quick. Yeah. Before that, I was born. After that, I turned 4 years later. My mother put me in piano lessons and I hated it. It was so boring. But basically I learned a little bit of rhythm and I learned the notes on the keyboard, learned how to read music a little bit. And then when I was 10, I went to a concert and I heard just this rock guitar. It blew my freaking mind. Just the fact that you could just hit a chord and it's just so loud in a stadium. Like I was hooked. So then I picked up the guitar when I was 10. And I learned a lot more about music theory, learned about playing in a band. I joined the church worship team when I was 12. And I was in the youth band. And then I got pulled up when I was 13 into the adult band. So then I learned more about preparation, learned more about music theory, learned what it's like to play in front of people, learned what it's like to play in a band. From that point, I kept playing all throughout high school, probably 3 or 4 Sundays a month. And then I got really proficient in that, went to college, and I met the bandmates in college. I started the music program, so I learned even more about music theory and really just stuck to guitar. And then I joined the band in freshman year of college. And then throughout then we toured in between classes. I almost got failed a couple classes because I missed a couple key, like I was in percussion ensemble, whatever. So that was just another skill, percussion ensemble.
You failed percussion ensemble.
Yeah, I think I missed like the big concert at the end, and he almost failed me. He was so mad at me. Anyway, so learned a lot of that stuff. The band, this was before we were owners in the group.
Were you in guitar ensemble too?
No,
college?
I hated it. No,
we had to do or I guess I had to do it in college. It was like the old fashioned guitar playing where they make you have a foot pedal. So your leg is like obnoxiously high. And then it's like medieval music.
Ting, ting, ting.
Learn how to read music. But anyways,
Yeah.
go back to
Anyway, in college, we had piano proficiency. I really
Yeah.
honed in scales on the piano and all of that. And so during that time, the band was touring. I got to know what the road life was like. I got to know what being a good hang was like. I got to know, how to deal with people on the road in tight corners. We were sleeping in vans. We were doing all the things trying to get signed. And we got a manager that wasn't very good. So we learned a little bit about that. We signed somewhat of a trash deal with a record label at the time, thinking that our whole entire career was going to change when we signed this deal. And so we were promised all the things. We're going to get you on radio. And then it was like a couple small stations. It was like, but we still got you on radio. So I started learning more of that, the business side and the management side. And during that time, I got really into video during college. This was around the time, I don't know if you guys remember like the original like vlog era. This was like 2015 and 2019. I got super hooked into that. But I also got pretty good at video editing. So I was building the video editing skill. I was already pretty proficient at music, guitar playing, and now I was starting to expand. So I was making my skills more and more valuable to the band. So I was making a lot of content. I was making my own vlogs, learning how to edit. I was starting to learn the social media game. And then from there, so this was 2020 when the band was like, the two original guys, they wanted out. COVID hit, they wanted out. That's when we started TAC. And at that point in 2019, I started my own website. I figured that out, how to everything from domains, connecting that, how to list, and it's still out there today. I list guitar presets and do like tutorials and still guitar education. So learn how to teach, learn how to do all that, and then that's when we started the Anthem Co. in 2020. We're like, shoot, we don't know how long this thing is going to last. We might as well continue to build our skills. That's when you and I started diving into Facebook ads. And then we learned how to grow playlists. And then we learned how to take the playlists to make our music more valuable. And then throughout that point, we started figuring out the record label side. What does it look like to sign artists? We spent a lot of money on lawyers to try to figure out what do the contracts look like.
Yep.
And we started learning more about publishing. And so you can start to see over probably a 10-year period of all of the skills that started to stack. So even just looking back 6 months ago, I started my school group back in August. That was for specifically guitar players. It's an extension of my own guitar business. And 2 months later, I was like, dude, Jason, this school platform is built for education and community. And I was like, we have to do this for TAC.
Because at that time we had this idea to start this concept of what we're doing here at the Anthem Network. But we were trying to look at different platforms and we're like, okay, which ones do we do? Whatever. We were kind of in between, bouncing in between. You stumbled upon school. Alex Hormozy dropped his new book that was also pushing people to school.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that. Like, I love reading entrepreneurship and business books on the side. So a lot of the little tricks here and there, the wording, the copy, like all of that stuff, pricing, like I love taking a deep dive into all that stuff. So it's baked into everything that we do with the Anthem Co. and the Anthem Network. And we were talking with Eleni like last week because we were trying to figure out what's another revenue stream for artists. And going back to the Mass Anthem days, like we had the Patreons, we had the GoFundMes and the Kickstarters. Like I'm sure some of you guys have done those. And it's just like, it's so exhausting to try to like get money from people or funding for people for like an album and like convince people for that. And so this whole entire time we're like, there's got to be another way. And I think this school platform, I think this is the answer for a lot of artists because we did the Patreon thing and we promised way too much as a band, as an artist. We're like, we're going to write you guys a brand new song every week for each and every one of you. It's like one of those things like how big of a extravagant thing can we make it? But that's one of those things where I think I figured out how to grow my school group. I'm probably growing at 2 a day and I'm probably at over almost 200 people in that guitar school group. So it's a little bit of a head start of the Anthem network, but I think we can replicate a lot of stuff. And a lot of artists could do that for fans or people that just want to support them. I think it's a great opportunity for that.
Your breakdown was infinitely more specific than my breakdown. I didn't take that approach of like the whole skill stacking side, which is super important. And the thing to remember too, guys, is like when Joey was doing those things, I was kind of taking a different angle as well from like concert promotion and booking and like hitting different sides. So when the opportunity came for us to start something, we both came with different sets of skill stacking that complemented each other. It's like, oh, you know the video side and the website side. Oh, and you're doing the guitar side, and I'm bringing the piano arrangement side, but the booking side and like the concert promotion side, and like we bring this stuff together. We're like, I feel like we have most of the industry figured out here between the two of us.
Do you want to know the power of networking? I've got another really specific example.
Go for it.
So in 2020, you knew his name is Jared from back in the day in 2020 when everything shifted
through
your management,
tour
managing days.
Yeah.
And you knew that he wanted to create a podcast. This was in 2020.
Yeah.
And so you knew that I was into video editing, and you're like, I think he can edit down this podcast and do this for Jared. So you referred Jared to me from your network. So then I worked for him for like another 3 or 4 years. And I learned how to do the podcasting game. I learned more about the gear. I learned how to edit the podcast. And guess where that skill has got us? Do you see all of this and hear all of it? Like,
yeah,
I am now able to apply all of those skills and level up to another scenario where I've been taking all of the skills that I learned from working for somebody else and now have been able to repackage it and spin it in a way where it's valuable to people in my network. So it's super powerful to really hone in your skills.
And now Jared has become a mentor for the two of us from a business standpoint. And I think we're going to bring him in for an interview as well, because he's...
Yeah. So he is a CFO for like big companies, but he also has his own fractional CFO is what it's called. And he does a lot of like finances for business and stuff. And so he is looking for clients. And it's funny how this all works, but because we're like, dude, we're not financial advisors. Like, we're not financial advisors. But that guy has tens of years of like just focusing on just the finance part, where he has so much more experience, and he's working for like big companies and stuff. So
like
he's doing
stock market top 500
like big
public companies,
big
like
companies
huge
and stuff. But
yeah.
So we're very thankful of the time that he has spent just on us, just for free, that he has a heart for mentorship and stuff like that. But it's the least that we can do, because basically he needs more clients for this new thing that he's starting. So we already talked about it like a week ago. We're going to have him on this, and he's going to talk like more tactical, like budgeting and like stuff for artists and like building good habits and stuff. So
yeah.
He's kind of more of a Dave Ramsey, but he's what was his brand?
Millennial Margin.
Millennial Margin. So
yeah.
he's a little bit older than us, but
yeah. So again, guys, just to kind of summarize this too, though, Joey went so hard, even specifically with guitar, and recognized, oh, I can now use this as another revenue stream opportunity. And then the two of us coming together, when we started the company, we realized, as we were growing our music, we had people starting to reach out like, hey, how do you market music? Like, can you help market our music? We're like, okay, let's start a marketing company, and imposter syndrome, really, really bad again. And we're like, okay, like, I guess we're a marketing company now. I hope people like are okay with that. And we do that for a few years, and we end up getting really, really good, and like really, really good. And just, it's turned into what it is today. And then, we make the pivot. Oh, I think we need to be a record label now. Imposter syndrome again. Oh no, or is it gonna, and it's every time, guys, we're just skill stacking like another service, taking these skills to create another service that we can make available to people. And if we make a good offer, Eleni, kind of like what you were running into, this concept of like feeling like you're gatekeeping, I would encourage you not to like necessarily look at it like that, because I guess the question here too is like, does the Anthem network feel a little gatekeepy? Genuinely curious, like, because it is something that we charge for, that we're looking to build and grow, but it's a very affordable thing, and we're just taking everything that we know and trying to give it away, and in the process, hopefully give you guys awesome careers as well, and like just kind of get that snowball rolling. And it's like even with music lessons, it's like I think everything is a little bit of a gatekeeping thing, but the way that this world is built is we have our time and we have our energy. That's really our biggest currencies, the most valuable currencies that we have. And everything's like an exchange, right? So there are people that want your skills.
And don't feel bad charging people for stuff, for services or whatever, because I have so many of these random business nuggets that I love to organize. They're just floating around in my head of books and courses and stuff that I've taken. But have you ever has anybody ever gone to you guys have Burger King up in Canada? You guys have Burger King? Okay, cool.
Do you
have you
actually?
guys ever? Yeah, they have.
They have a Burger King all the way up there?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was just getting
getting
participation. She's like, I'm out. Have you ever seen the $1.49 10-piece chicken nugget at Burger King? You've never seen it?
I don't think
We
it's
don't
that
have that in Canada.
You don't have chicken nuggets or the $1.49
No, it's
deal?
the $1.49 for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's too expensive here.
I do A&W.
Well-
Sorry, I don't like Burger King. Sorry.
Well,
Terrible analogy, Joe.
No. You don't even know where I'm going with this. You don't even know where I'm going with this. You don't even have to eat it. You drive by and you see chicken nuggets, a 10-piece chicken nugget for $1.49, and you're like, no way. I'm not eating that. That's got to be nasty. Like, that's not even real. When you charge something that's so cheap, people start to question if it's valuable or not. Where I'm going with this is with the network, while it's now $15 a month, if it was free, people wouldn't see the value in it. When was the last time you joined a Facebook group or something for free and you came back to it regularly every week?
How many have you joined?
On a Tuesday night. I've joined
joined a lot.
I've joined school groups that are free, and I'm like, I joined and I played around with it for 10 minutes and then I never came back. It's just the nature of stuff being extremely cheap.
Because it didn't cost you anything. You didn't invest. Yeah. It didn't. There wasn't a little bit of pain associated with the thing.
And there has to be just a tiny bit, which is why we just made it $10 a month. It's like there's people charging thousands of dollars for stuff that may not even be
150. Like what Garrett was talking about last call. He's like, yeah, like these mentors of mine, people wanting to charge me $150 an hour.
It's just got to be just enough, because
too much.
The other flip side of that pricing thing, and we've done this since 2020 when we did the whole marketing thing. I don't know if you guys have been around for Artist Pool, but we started that at $10 a month. I don't know if anybody has ever seen that.
It was a marketing feature.
It was a marketing feature. We're like, all right, what if we just did this averaging? Ashley was there for it. Mm-hmm. We started at $10 a month. And one of the psychology things, it's not just our group, it's across the board. The lower you charge for something, the more people complain about your thing. And it could be the exact same thing. You could charge way higher for the thing and you get less complainers. It's the weirdest thing ever.
It's true. So to bring that back full circle to what we're saying about this stuff, Lenny, again, this concept of gatekeeping. Listen, you've got gifts and you've got talents that have cost you a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to recognize those gifts. That is worth something, and that is worth creating an offer around. And I don't think you have to feel like you're selling your soul or you're doing somebody a disservice, because there are people who will happily pay for that. It's just a matter of connecting the right offer, like creating the right offer and the right price. And again, how much time do you have? What's your schedule? Like what that's the juggling act here of you guys being artists, is like, y'all are busy. We're busy. We were working many jobs at once trying to start all this. And I'm sure a lot of you are in the same position of like, I've already got my 9 to 5. I've already got family. I've already got church commitments and friendship commitments. And like, there's not as much time. So it's kind of this idea of like, okay, what are my skill sets? What are my passions? What do I really enjoy? I love piano. I love arranging things. I love making music. So when that just started to happen, when I started to get a couple people interested in lessons and I said yes, even though I felt like an imposter, it kind of just worked. And I just kind of pursued that. So for many of you in here, I'm willing to bet a lot of you have significantly, well calibrated music skills, whether when it comes to your instruments and singing and production and stuff like that. I'm willing to bet there have to be people in your circle that know who you are, people that know that, oh, in your community or in your church community, oh, I know Lenny is the artist. Hey, I have a kid that might want to learn piano. Is there any chance you would have an opportunity to help out with that?
Literally never. I will never teach anybody piano. I would rather. I tried to teach my own kid piano. I was like, not for me.
Okay, so good. You tried something and it's not the one. Okay.
I will say, I feel like the one skill set that I have is something that you guys are already doing. And so I would be better off pointing people here and being like, hey, come and enjoy like free information. Not free, but $10, $15 a month's worth of information. I don't know. I don't feel like I have any like real skill sets to teach, but I do want to do like a community where like I can just be like here, which I think that maybe is a skill set if you think about it. It's just like wanting to be communal and like I'm a believer in a village and just like spending time with people and kind of being like just vulnerable enough that people are kind of drawn to it without like overexposing my life. But I don't know. I think like it could be cool that way. I just don't think I have anything specific to like teach people that isn't already being taught in the network, which is why I'd be like, let's just send people to network.
Before you head out, if that session gave you just one good idea, imagine what'll happen when you're actually in the room with us every week. That's what the Anthem Network is all about. Artists connecting, getting real-time feedback, and taking action together. You can join right now with a 7-day free trial and be part of the next live call for free. Don't just watch other artists grow with them. Click the link in the description and we'll see you on the next call.